Hello, audience. It's an honor for us getting this opportunity to attend the virtual Asia TEFL 2020 International Conference. Today, we would like to share with you about our research entitled Evaluation and Development of English for Chemistry Textbook based on the analysis of students' needs in learning English. This study was conducted by me, Felicia Lekatompessy, and my colleague, Helena Rijoly. So both of us are lecturers from Patimura University. Due to the issue of COVID-19, so this recording was conducted separately from our house. So the first sessions will be presented by Helena Rijoly, and the next one will be continued by me. Hope you enjoy our presentations. Ibu Helena, the time is yours.
Thank you, Ibu Felicia. But before I start with my presentation, I would like to introduce to all of you where we come from. We come from Indonesia. I think everybody is familiar with Indonesia, but we actually come from the east part of Indonesia. There's an archipelagic province called the Maluku province. And in that Maluku province, there's a small island called the Ambon Islands. That's where we are and where our university is. And it is well known for its white sandy beaches, friendly people, music, and culture. So let me continue and start my presentation. Our research is the evaluations and development of English for chemistry textbook based on the analysis of student needs in learning English. The research goal is to evaluate the use of English for chemistry textbook, which has been designed and produced based on the need analysis of the students. Both of us are the lecturers in our local university, and in this research, we did the research in our class, which is a general English at the chemistry department of Faculty of Teachers Training, University of Patimura. The research questions and focus for our research is that what are the students' opinion and feedback on the use of English for chemistry textbook, focusing on the context and content aspect. Now let me explain just a little bit about content and context. The context refers to the suitability of textbook content materials with the student need, the suitability with the curriculum, and the suitability with lecturers' ability to use the textbook in the classroom. Meanwhile, the content refers to the textbook content materials, the vocabulary, practice, and activities that are included in the textbook, as well as the textbook structure. So how the layout and format attract and motivate the students to study. Okay. So why do we need to conduct this research? Number one, this research is the phase 2 of our research. In 2018, we already completed the phase 1 of our research. We did, our research is to write and develop a textbook, but we do it based on the need analysis for the students. So in phase 1, we have conducted the need analysis, where we ask the students what type of activities they want, what kind of content knowledge they need to be included, the type of reading materials, for example. And it has been done, and based on that feedback from the students, we produce the draft for our prototype, the textbook prototype. Now, we need to do this because at our university, the English for chemistry department is categorized as the general English, and it falls under the English for specific purposes type of English. So if it's English for specific purposes, definitely the students have specific needs. Most importantly, both my colleague and I are lecturers at English department. So we teach English to teachers training faculties. We have no background in chemistry. So by working together with the students of that subject area, as well as the lecturers, we're able to enrich our content. We also look at it from the student need. So we consider their learning style, learning preferences, and learning motivation. Which I mean, on the long run, it will create a better learning motivation. So each students in different areas of Indonesia have different characteristics, and students in Maluku also have different characteristics. So this need analysis will provide us with the right on target, right on the use textbook, which will increase the efficiency and effectivity. And this is a bottom-up scheme where we don't only take any textbook and give it to the student and say we got to use this, but we actually develop one based on what they want. So bottom up. Now, for the textbook evaluations, we refer to the Mukudan 2012 and Mikli 2005, which talk about the evaluation of textbooks, focusing on these two aspects, content and context. As I mentioned before, the content here covers the evaluation on the aspect of content materials in the 4 integrated skills. So listening, reading, writing, speaking, including vocabulary and grammar, and as well as pronunciations. It also asks the students to evaluate the exercises and activity, as well as the textbook layout. Now, the context of the textbook refers to the suitability of textbook content materials with the curriculum, as well as the teacher preparedness. Now, the thing is, we only have 16 meetings to complete in a semester, and this is the first semester students. The students come from a diverse background of knowledge. Some of them comes with no prior knowledge of English, where they have very limited encounter with English actually. And some, I mean, you can count by hand, especially if this is general English, of students who already have that communicative ability. Yeah. So we have very diverse students that we need to satisfy, as well as making sure that we are following the curriculum in terms of competency goals, learning objective, etc. So the type of evaluations that we use are in-use evaluations. And within it, we're asked the students to analyze the whole textbook to get there. They also give us feedback and critiques, lesson coverage in terms of the textbook content material, of course, and they give us suggestions for additional topics for more chapters for applying. Okay, so now we're going to move on to my colleague, Ibu Feli, who will continue this presentation. Ibu Feli, time is yours.
Thank you very much, Ibu Helena. Now I would like to continue the discussions about research methodology. So this study employed research and development, or R&D, as the design in conducting the study. This model is proposed by Thiagarajan et al. In 2011. This model consists of 3 stages, which are define, design, and develop. So the first stage, define, is intended to observe the learner's characteristics and also learner's needs in learning English. So the observations and need analysis have been conducted during the first phase research in the year of 2018, and these were still continued to the second phase of the research in 2019 with the additions of textbook draft evaluation. The second stage is design. So after we do the define process, we designed the prototype of textbook that was revised and was added with 3 additional chapters to complete the initial 6 chapters planned for the textbook. The next stage is develop. So this stage is intended to evaluate or validate the textbook. So the textbook has undergone validations by including English language expert and chemistry expert to evaluate the suitability of the material in the textbook with the content materials in chemistry and also English field of study. So prototype of the textbook was used in teaching English for chemistry class in 2019 and 2020 semester. In 2 classes consisted of 70 students who also participate in tryout and evaluation process. So briefly stated, this study has been conducted through several processes. So for example, textbook revisions and development, tryout and evaluation, final textbook prototype, and the last one is textbook publication. Here is the result of the study. So the discussions of the result is divided into 3 parts, which is about the content, context, and also the students' feedback. The first one is about the content. So based on the result, it can be concluded that the questionnaire shows a significant student satisfaction rate. So that from the 9 evaluation aspects in terms of the 4 English skills, vocabulary and grammar, pronunciations, as well as the textbook layout, it was found that most of the respondents agree that the content of the textbook is suitable for the need. So the highest satisfaction rate of the textbook aspect is shown in increased level of interest to learn using the textbook, that the learning activities included in the textbook are engaging. So students also admitted that they are more motivated and encouraged when they are in the classroom discussions, because most of them are also involved in classroom activities. Students are highly required to participate in speaking in most of the activities in the classroom. So this is closely followed by students' opinion that the tasks and exercises are structured progressively from simple to complex. However, there is also unsatisfactory rate in the aspect of sensitivity to cultural values. So this because probably students do not find any written form that also discuss about cultural values in the textbook, because we do not put it in written. But what we have done is that we try to explain about the cultural values in the specific context in the verbal form. Alright, so as you can see also in the chart, from listening and speaking and also grammar, most of the respondents gave positive responses to these items. Yeah, so for clearly learning goals for listening task, clear instruction, authentic exercise and assignment, and also for example in motivating students to speak. So most of students agreed that it is very good. And about the grammar, they also gave the positive responses. The next one is about the content in terms of the vocabularies. We can see here that 61.9% and also 59.5% of the students admitted that vocabularies included in the textbook are efficiently repeated throughout the use of the textbook, and the vocabulary is also suitable with the context of the use in real life of English. So in terms of the vocabularies, most of the respondents gave their positive responses. It is also similar with the pronunciations, because most of the respondents agreed that pronunciation is made easy to learn. And this one is made in the negative statement, so the result will be interpreted reversed. So we can understand that respondents also gave the positive responses to this item, that the pronunciation is also suitable with the context of use. The next one is about context of the textbook. So based on this chart, the data that we found, it can be concluded that the respondents agreeing that the whole context of the English for Chemistry textbook is satisfactory. It is also suitable with the curriculum that reached 47.6% of the respondents. So 57.1% of the respondents also agreed that that textbook, the context of the textbook, is also in line with the course of final competency goals and learning objectives. The examples and explanations in the textbooks are also easy to understand. 47 87.6% of the respondents agreed with this one. The content material also satisfies students in learning English, especially to learn English speaking, because in the country where English is perceived as a foreign language, so speaking has become one of the complicated skills, yeah, for the students. So that's why we try to change this mindset, and therefore we try to encourage students to more engage in speaking activities. So in each chapter there is also a sections for speaking activity in which students are asked to present something using pictures, using posters in line with the chapter of discussions. And the last one is about the lecturer competence. 67.2% of the students agreed that the lecturer is competent in English mastery, English teaching, and in using the textbook, because we have to make sure that we as the lecturer also able to understand the context of and the content of the textbook before it is being implemented or being used in the classroom. And the next one is about the students' feedback. So in the questionnaire there are 3 questions used to ask about their feedbacks about the use of the textbook. So most of them gave the feedback about the vocabulary. They want more concise vocabulary, especially in the technical terms and words related to chemistry study area, and it has to be suited with the level of understanding. And they also ask for more examples and practices or exercises that help them to explore more about the topic. And they also ask to more engage in speaking activities, examples how to do the presentations. So those feedbacks are also used as the important input for us to do the follow-up sessions in developing our materials, our textbook. So for example, we try to use more concise vocabulary in the textbook and also more engaging speaking activities in the textbook as well. So from those feedbacks and the result, we also add 3 more topics to add the 3 previous topics in the first stage of research. So here is the cover of our textbook, and those are the chapters in the textbook. There are 6 chapters here, and those topics are related with the chemistry study, chemistry area. Are the randomly parts of the textbook, the pages like this, and there is also part for self-reflections used for the students to do self-reflections, what have been learned by the students in each chapter. We also have like focus, grammar focus, yeah. So as you can see, in each chapter we complete the chapter with the 4 English speaking skills and also grammar focus, and end it with the self-reflections squares. Alright, so based on the result, it can be concluded that the designing teaching material that is suitable with students' learning need is effective to encourage and motivate them to learn. Also, feedback from learners are essential for developing better teaching material, which should also accordance with the applied curriculum. Okay, I think that's all from us about our research. Thank you very much. Terima kasih.